George, is this? Why do I feel like this is off? Is this right?
Maybe just handle adjustments for this music later, but you're good for now.
Okay, that's cool. I can do it here. I just feel like I'm supposed to be like. How y'all doing? So as I say all the time, welcome to the Poetry Den, where words once written on a page are now performed on stage, and solidarity extends between poets and friends. Thank you to all of you that are joining us online, and if you could give yourselves an applause for being here. Summer is cranking up, right? Yeah, we're starting to enjoy some good weather, so anytime you guys take time out of your day to come and hang with us here at the Poetry Den, we love that. My name is Pam Blair. I'm the founder and the host of the Poetry Den. Next month will be 14 years doing this. And pretty much 14 years strong, other than like COVID. You know, COVID took everybody out, so, but we were still in existence. And there was moments where we would record some stuff and just kind of share it online. But since then, when we came back together, there was, you know, we all had limitations of how many people could be in the building at one time. And George so kindly set it up out here so that we could do virtual and have a few people in person. And so we did that. And the virtual thing stuck. You threw it up against the wall and it stuck. And so we're now doing virtual and live. But for, I don't know, maybe 11 years, 12 years now, we've been in here, in this building, in this historical place. And so we are extremely, extremely grateful to be in the space because we all get to come here for free. Yeah. And we all like free. Especially when gas goes up to $4.99, right? You ride your bike here, it's still light outside. How many are here for the first time in this building? So we haven't done this in a while, and usually, like, I like to have George come up and talk about the space because it's so important. It's important for us. It's important for what they do in our community. And it's just available, and yeah, I just would love for him to come and share just a little bit. All right,
George. Everyone, thank you. To those we're welcoming for the 1000th time, welcome back. To those we're welcoming for the first time, welcome in for the first. It's the first, but I definitely hope it's not the last. We do feel very strongly about how we tell stories in this place, and what something as simple as a building that one might drive by 1,000 times and have no clue what had happened to the people who were living inside it or working inside it for decades, and in the case of this building, over a century. This was built in 1922 as the city of South Bend's first indoor swimming pool. It was called the Engelman Public Natatorium. We're in the women's changing room of this former swimming pool. So clearly we've changed it a lot. But in addition to some of the things that have changed, we think of that word public that they used. They called it the Engelman Public Natatorium. I often ask, particularly when we get younger audiences in here, what do you think that word means? And I get some variation of the same thing. Well, it means it's open for everyone, right? 8-year-olds understand this. But grown adults seem to struggle. Because in 1922, the people who ran this place, quite frankly, people who look like me, had a very narrow definition of that word public. African American people were denied entry here for 14 years, completely. And then segregated by day for an additional 14. That's nearly 30 years of some form of exclusion in this supposedly public space. So what does it mean that one portion of that public got to define who was included in that word, and to whom do they include and to whom do they exclude? not only are we still living with that legacy of what happened in the 1920s, but I don't know if y'all are paying attention, but we're seeing new injustices every day along the exact same lines. There is a portion that wants to define that word public narrowly, that leaves some portion of humanity out of that word. I wholly reject that. And I think we all must reject that. So what we do in this space is use that history of what had happened here 100 years ago when it was a swimming pool, recognize how many people drove through in the 1920s and had no clue what was happening inside because it wasn't impacting them, or had driven through in the 1980s when it was broken down and abandoned and vacant and understandably had no clue what had happened here in the 1920s. How do we here in the 2020s? We're incapable of changing what had happened back then. We are capable of understanding what is happening right now. And we must at the very least understand. And so that's what we try to do now. In addition to understanding, we also need to take time, because this work is hard, we need to take time to celebrate. And so that includes many things. I invite you to take a look at the newest exhibition that we just launched this past Tuesday. It's from our partners at New Day, who are working to build a low-barrier homeless shelter in the city. These are all done by members of the unhoused community, and recognizing their voice, their humanity, and them as a member of that public. But in addition to that, y'all gather here today. And I say this a lot, Pam, but you give us a gift to be able to join as very different people with very different backgrounds and very different experiences, but we come in service of listening to each other, of hearing each other, and celebrating each other through spoken word. So thank you for that gift that you're giving us, and thank you.
Thank you, George. I appreciate that. I am actually learning a lot of the more I connect with the community in healing about what telling our stories, and especially with poetry or artwork, is doing for individuals. And I learned a lot about, like, it's hard for me to, I don't know if I have some anxiety going on, but I'm always having to be doing something creative. And it's a calming for me. And between nature and art, there's a lot of studies and a lot of research is going on about that and being in those kind of environments. And so it explains why we keep doing this, because it's good for us. Just a housekeeping things. The bathroom is to my right and your left in the back corner. The dryers are real loud, but if you need to dry your hands, you need to dry your hands, and we know that you like to wash your hands after you use the restroom, so that's such a great thing. If you could silence your phones or put your phones on mute or something like that, that would help, not so it won't be disruptive to those that are doing poetry. If you need to take a phone call and you go out here in and thinking that's a safe place where you want to give your social security number, we will write it down and use it to open up a few accounts. No, I'm just kidding. Let me not joke about that. But it is, as you can hear, there's an echo in here, and so we can, probably don't want us to hear that. So you can step outside. It's a nice day. We start with the open mic, and then we will have our featured artist up. We ask our open mic guest, we give you like 5 minutes. You can go a little longer if you want. 5 minutes, maybe one poem you have, or maybe 3 or 4 poems that you have. The moment you might go into a 8, 9, 10 minute, I'll be going, hey. But that's just, so that we give our featured artist that moment. And I'm excited to hear our featured artist today. I just remembered did not give me a bio, but it's okay. We'll work it out. What else do I need to tell you? So last month we had our book launch, the Poetry Den book launch. Very well received. There's 20 artists in that book. So we have some, we'll probably keep some available for those that weren't able to make that and would like to have a book. They're $15 and I think there's a Cash App. You can Cash App or Venmo me. I don't have any change to give anyone. But the main focus for having these books was so that we can be a part of South Bend history. Like there's a tangible thing that we can say, yes, these poets were a part of this environment and this community. And so I will always say I'm extremely grateful for the other artists. They did not give me, I thought I was gonna have to herd cats, and they all like submitted their poems and even answered questions if I had questions. And then I had such a great committee that worked with me, and they were, just very gracious. And so, hence we have the book. And so, if you would like a book and want to, Cash App or whatever, if there's some hardships and you want a book, come see me. We'll work it out. But yeah, so when we do our poetry, when people come up, if you hear something that sounds good, feel free to snap while they're doing it. Feel free to say, spit that, or, girl, God, ooh, child, rewind. Feel free to do all of that. That hypes our artist up. So, again, we start with our open mic. If I did not get your name off of the list, just flag, I'll say something, just let me know. We'll make sure that you get heard tonight. So, and I randomly call you. I do not go in the order that you signed up, so we just ask you to stay ready. You can do that. It's pretty good. All right.
Are signups going on throughout the night?
Say what?
Do they go on throughout the night, or are they all beginning to sign up?
Yeah, the signups will go on up until probably 7 o'clock, a little after 7, and then we kind of call it. We want to make sure people get heard. So, all right, I'll start you out with a poem. This is a fairly new poem. Have you ever heard of a reversible poem? No? Yeah? I experimented with a reversible poem. I didn't know that was such a thing. So what happens with a reversible poem is like, it's written, and then you can literally read it from the bottom up. So you read it from top to bottom and then bottom up. So this is called Spring Anyway. Spring is finding me, even here where the ground still remembers frost, where the air is learning how to trust. I can feel something loosening, a quiet thaw beneath what I thought was permanent, beneath what I thought was gone. The sun returns to my face, the dark circles of winter erase, my footsteps in the sand I retrace, air conditioners supersede a fireplace. I am not as stuck as I once believed, not buried under the snow as it seemed. Light is staying longer now, calling gently through the cracks, through the waiting. Becoming is already happening, even when I can't see it, even when it's slow, even when it's quiet. Spring is finding me. And then I'll read it back. Spring is finding me. Becoming is already happening, even when I can't see it, even when it's slow, even when it's quiet. Light is staying longer now, calling gently through the cracks, through the waiting. I am not stuck as I once believed, not buried under the snow as it seemed. The sun returns to my face, the dark circles of winter erase, my footsteps in the sand I retrace, air conditioners supersede a fireplace. I can feel something loosening, a quiet thaw beneath what I thought was permanent, beneath what I thought was gone. Spring is finding me, even here, where the ground still remembers frost, where the air is learning how to trust. Thank you. I'm going to read a really old one that I found. And I used to do this a lot. In order to have freedom, one must be set free. Free to foresee the boundaries, the bondage that enslaved you and me. But are we really free like Adam and Eve to walk naked in the breeze of the trees, never having to sneeze because of our allergies? Or is the possibility that one's free will lies in self-will? To choose immorality, taking responsibility, standing before God in accountability. Well, because of the fall, we're not free at all, but bought with a price. And the blood that was shared, freedom now belongs in Christ. So be careful in your personal technique. The freedom you seek does not become a stumbling block to the weak. That's freedom. And the last fun little thing I'll do is haikus. I used to do a lot of haikus just for fun. So I'll read maybe 4 of those. Ruler in the field, yet no king of the jungle, the dandelion. Points. Now this is from my son. This actually came out of something that happened with me and my son. Points to a dark sky. Mommy, that's God's fingernail. Smiles at crescent moon. Ice falls from the sky, tree branches bow to the wind, spring ceremony. And this last one, love makes my heart melt. Like ice cream in the hot sun, they both are sticky. So I'm gonna ask Tom. Yeah, look at you. See, now you know this. You know this. Welcome, Tom, to the mic.
Well, good evening. Good evening. This first one's called A Memory of the Red Cup. Sunday morning, sunny, with a slight breeze from the south. And the birds are busy feeding their young. I'm having my morning coffee with some cream playing in the background. Crossroads, I think, from 1969. Same year I started drinking coffee with cream and sweetener, and the first time I heard cream was at a party where no one was drinking coffee. When cream played on the stereo, Sunshine of Your Love, dancing, all of us were dancing with our red cups filled with Boone's Farm strawberry wine. Getting ourselves all wind up, thinking we were real cool, but some of us overindulged. And in the morning, I thought of Cream's song, Crossroads, in its first verse. I went down to the crossroads, and I fell upon my knees. And our overindulgers were on their knees praying for forgiveness to the white porcelain god, to stop their suffering as they hugged the toilet bowl for dear life. I could each hear in their turn saying, never again, never again. But they were back to party hardy at the next party, drinking Boone's Farm strawberry wine. Thank you. This one's called Only Honesty Came from Her Eyes. Another expression of rejection shown by her blue eyes, and with a trying smile, thought not honestly given, but knowledge of no promise of a future, brought no knowledge of the future. In return, a silent smile back, knowing that the relationship was over because her eyes had done all the necessary talking. Nothing worse than a long consideration with consistent rejections to try a determined man's soul, especially when he has given his all, and then to find no lasting love to reward all his efforts. Yeah. I felt sorry for him too. This one is goes back to COVID times, although the My sister-in-law who passed away didn't die from COVID, but it's called I Listened. What could I say to my brother, whose wife is dying, how helpless he felt as he pours out his soul with his grief and sorrow? He said the doctor told him she will die soon, likely within 24 hours. Sad, just so sad, my brother said. And the hospital won't let me see her to say my last goodbye. We cannot have a mass or a funeral because of the COVID-19 virus. I did not know what to say, so I sat still next to him and I listened. Then he paused for a moment and he put his left hand on my right shoulder and he said, "Thanks." And all I did was listen. This one is called Gone But Remembered. It is the way the wooden bench is placed, a position of sadness, a position of loneliness, a semi-secluded place where one can come in privacy to grieve and release emotions into the wind, especially the emotion of separation, into the wind, which never totally heals because there is a void that cannot ever be filled. I screwed that one up. It happens. One last one. This is called a separate moment of being. In certain febrile moods, teenage memories present themselves with great intensity and are vividly displayed to the top of my mind as if they are independent beings or like pictures hanging on a wall, individually but together in the back of my mind. Music from the 1960s plugged into my memories, the sights and the sounds and the girls, as real now as they were then. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. One more time for Tom. I have a mic online, but there's a mic that signed up. Is Mike here?
Mike Joseph Pauling.
Huh?
Mike Joseph Pauling.
Yes. You gonna read something, right? Oh, okay. I was like, sometimes people sign up so that they're supposed to sign in when they can.
Oh, yeah. That's actually hilarious.
Okay.
I'm just going to do one. I'm not really a poet. I'm more of a prose writer, but which is why this one's a bit on the long side. But it's called Love Like a Glass Ocean. Her hand traces an arc in gold as she dances in the kitchen to music I can't hear. I see her leg plie, her body pirouette on single pointed foot, and know that she's laid the trail for a passing sun, but I also know I won't see much more of arcing hand or chariot, of light retiring to unseen wombs, of me retiring to a cool bed warmed by my better being. Because sometimes love burns through its wick ahead of schedule. Its flame glows unwavering from afar, but step to it, and the flame sways, trembles as you breathe beside it, threaten to blow the heat apart. There are rarely true surprises with love, though. Flames have always danced with the wind. Candle wicks have never shortened without the burn. Yet, we're always surprised when light goes out and leaves us with the empty room of separation. Soon after, sure, we cry in some corner, but eventually we can't help but realize no moth has from the flame ever flown away. So why should we? Why would we? I haven't felt or seen love as fire since I was decades younger. I've known love like a glass ocean, a sight resplendent in awe, a work of godly art, a miracle of nature frozen against its laws, where no ship can sail, whose ripples are always easy and tsunamis impossible to scale. My soul can warm or cool to this love. My eyes can thank the stars each time I see her in the morning, after her pillow has spent the night tumbleweeding her hair, insomnia inflating her eye bags, her delirium compelling her to say funny things to me like, "Turn off the stove," when all I said to her was with a hand on her cheek, warmed already by a night under her breast. But love, like a glass ocean, does not move, it only waits. When a sun ray passes through a tall wall of curved glass, and on the other side is cast a rainbow, the ocean waits for us to know what we see, because not all rainbows are covenants, and not all we think we promise can withstand the passage of time. And if the great still waves are majesty to you today, what if they are regret for her tomorrow? In that kitchen, dancing as if you weren't there, because she would still dance if you weren't there. The grace she had for you wanes. Her eyes look at the spaces of the world that no longer contain you. She has walked further along this ocean of glass, grown weary, and you've only stood still. Because the ocean was never meant to be like this, fixed in space, time. Those old phantoms of remorse, the stubborn traumas, sorcerers in their own right, waved crooked fingers and stilled love into a false splendor. But what do you do with water that does not move? How do you find safety when there's no way to get home? When the spell breaks and lovers can find their way to where they're, when the spell breaks and lovers can find their way to where they'll go, will where they go be the same place? I wonder that as I see a love recede into the horizon, a woman dancing whole who had built in her deepest dreams a raft she's just awoken to. The spell is broken, glass water again, the majesty of love replaced by the yearning for shore. And she finally sees what we couldn't back when our ship didn't bob and the waves didn't thrash. Stillness had hid the roiling underneath, and so beauty hid what's true. If not for love like a glass ocean, we would have long sailed far away from one another. That's why, as she dances in the kitchen, she can't see me, because without a glass ocean, her arcing hand and the sun both set on what was once but no longer we.
Ooh, that was amazing. One more time for Michael. Just tell me what your name is. Josh? Josh Brown. Got you, Josh. All right. Lori, want to come join us? Come on up.
So wait a minute, I have to follow him? Thanks. Just kidding, just joking. Okay, this is called Midlife is a Passage, and dedicated to all women in midlife and all of those who are neurodivergent. When I talk about a mask, I don't talk about like the mask of like psychopathy or sociopath. Just want to make that really clear. It's like the mask that a person who is neurodivergent feels like he or she has to present this perfect persona to the world. And I did not know I had ADHD until I was 38 years old. So a lot of damage, a lot of healing has been done, but that's really kind of the basis of this. It's a 3-part poem. Midlife is a passage. 1, the mask. An eruption called menopause blew off a mask I carefully placed years ago. It's okay to laugh. I believed this mask, this shield, would convince everyone that I was unstoppable, that I was unbroken, that I was invincible. Except I was convincing the wrong one. as this mask only shields against an outside world. In actuality, this mask is really a mirror. Once covered by a torn, dusty red velvet curtain of lies I wrapped myself in. Lies that I wasn't good enough. Lies that I was worthless. Lies that I shouldn't even try. All because I found out in my late 30s, much, much later than I should, that my brain is a proverbial square peg attempting to navigate a cold, round world. Running 2 steps behind in neurotypical spaces while feeling I was from outer space, definitely out of place. This is one, the mask. Ooh, it gets better. Thank you. Thank you. 2, the mask slipping. When the last egg dropped, and I stopped bleeding. Menopause ripped off the mask, although it was already slipping away. And the only organ that continued to bleed was my heart. To my chagrin, or to my relief, depending on the day, I have entered society's age of invisibility as a 54-year-old woman. In reality, without the mask to protect me from the world, I became completely exposed. Emotionally, mentally, physically, I hurt every single day. Sometimes I wonder how I survived this long, with my body slowly breaking down, with rejection-sensitive dysphoria, that is, intensified emotional and physical pain. The general overwhelmingness of life envelops me in waves, and I tread water to survive the storms. I'm still treading, and I don't plan on stopping. Thank you. You guys are wonderful. And this is part 3. The mask is gone. She's gone. Midlife is a passage that I'm surviving. Even though the mask is gone, I'm still functioning, yet not alone. There are so many of us broken souls floating out here between the storms. I understand now that we can only weather this in numbers. Midlife is a passage, and I'm crawling over the finish line. Yet, there is another marathon to run, and the only way I can manage it is to look at the sky and ask for divine guidance, because it's no longer my race to run alone. Thank you, everybody.
One more time for Lori. Some of you might have heard this before, but there's this lady that's on Facebook, and she does "We Simply Do Not Care." Yeah. Have you seen that? Yeah, that's hilarious. And when someone told me about her, I was like, man, that is simply me every day. Like, I can give to. I have my review. Hopefully she won't be watching this, but I have my review, and it said that I did really good at teamwork, and I had to think to myself, do it because I simply do not care. So that was simply amazing and kind of funny. So kudos to a lot of that, because I'm not over the cross line or whatever it is. I'm still there. I'm still muddling around. Adriana? Come on.
So we wanted to do like a dance and reading.
Okay.
And a collab improv.
What do you think
Will
in
the
a way?
people on the Zoom be able to see it, or should I step a little bit back?
What do you need to do, George?
So
They're going to do dance dance/poem, so.
Should I step back a little?
We don't want to move the mic,
Oh.
right?
Or at least move the mic forward. And then
Forward, okay.
Yeah.
As long as you're behind the mic.
Oh, right. I'll move the mic forward a little,
You can
just so
probably
the
move
Zoom
this.
people can see. Yeah.
Yeah, we can
Oh,
go
I
to
can
the
use
side.
it. I can use it for my.
Yeah.
Are people able to see? Am I blocking you from the dancing a little bit? Okay.
She's a dancer too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Should I?
I can move around.
Okay.
You as well.
Testing, test. Should I?
Nope, you're good.
Good? Oh, okay. That's. Oh, okay. There? Okay. So thank you everyone for being here. Thank you, Poetry Den. I'm really excited to be here with my friend Aki, who's a movement artist. I'm a poet, bilingual poet from Mexico City, and I'm just gonna read a flow of poems that I've curated for this reading with Aki, and she's just gonna do some dance improv, so I hope you enjoy it. Okay. Every day I wake up to the accusation staring back at me. The sun rises with the accusation that I'm not doing life right. The shape-shifting weather accuses me daily. The capitalism that makes the world go round is rife with exclamation points of accusation. The heterosexuality that birthed us is a dance of accusation. The accusation muddies up the air in the world I wake up in every morning. These notebooks, scraps of paper, intrusive thoughts, files that fill up megabytes are compulsions of an accused mind, a plotting mind. A mind that seeks to leave an archive, to pass down boxes, to leave her descendants homework, to be haunted by histories that were never her own, to house them in her living flesh. Perhaps writing was always this for me, an exercise in anticipated memory, a huge question drowned in a yawn that makes me very itchy. Bisexual, bilingue, borderline. Flowery faldas anaranjadas with fluffy gray tweed. Hamacas in the jungle, next to a cabin in the snow. Una personalidad en español. Another one in English. Secular, Jewish, but pagan. From a culturally Catholic country, eating boiled beets and cabbage with huevos con chorizo. Global North poor, global South rich. Una sirena with a tan and a skin rash, working on the computer. A rock climber who swears and plays piano clásico, who can mask in a 16th floor office on Wall Street and decry capitalism at the anarchist bookstore. Shameless, but ready to shame you. Committed until her commitments are tested. Desirous of everyone being free, exactly the way she thinks they should be. Un ojo feroz y flirty, one-eyed, dark, vacant, and aloof. Lime green eyeliner and doll face rasgos, with the little mustache of a boy entering puberty. Flexible, like all things imbued with water, but brittle, like scorched wood. There is no later, it is now. There is no when this so and so. There is only the futurity we make present today. There is only the promise we can be trusted to keep. There is no later, it is now. The tides are turning on this circular stage. We are getting ready, we are stalling, we are bracing ourselves. This is the process. and the destination. There is no tomorrow worth inventing today. Today is enough tomorrow already. We are dealing with urgent imperative drives, buckets of water to be poured on blazing fires. There's no time to lose, no energy to waste on anything that isn't a resistance to that voice that demands productivity and sacrifice and compliance and control and diligence and perfection. We all have it. Maybe you have it more. Maybe yours talks like a cowboy and mine talks like a Yiddish mame. Whether you believe that voice is sacred or hate it with all your might, it's time to turn the volume down. Invert the logic, take up space. Trust this stranger who seems to mean well with your heart. Trust them again, even when they hurt you, if there's a chance it was you all along, projecting onto them things they can't guess, as many have done with you. Trust yourself to handle the growing pains that come with love, relative to its depth and intensity, and to distinguish it from the pain that comes from breaking yourself open, trying to cure someone's inability to love, because the former is a formative pain. The latter is deforming. Forgive yourself every time you excuse cruelty, your inner critic's cruelty especially brazen. Love those that temper it and make you laugh and spit in the face of guilt and shame and humiliation. You can't just put it off for later. Urgency has arrived. There's nothing wrong with desiring the constant proximity of other bodies. We were wired to want close and trusted company to get through the dark jungle night. Our language was less verbal, digital when digital referred to our fingertips full of nerve endings, dactylar. Our principal vehicle was touch. Even now, after millenniums westernized by the word, I rediscover constantly. When my body moves, my mind releases my wisps of emotion through its creases.
Wow, that was amazing. Let's give it up for both of them. Thank you for bringing that creativity. I love that. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to be in for a treat tonight, bro. I'm telling you what. Well, you already are. You're here, so you're in for a treat. You are the treat, and you got some treats. I was a comedian in my J.E. Myers. Come on out, man.
All right, I brought too many poems. I can't read them all, but I'll do my best. Last month was National Poetry Month, so that was kind of awesome. Last month I ended up writing a poem I call My Favorite Poems. It's about my favorite poems. My favorite poems are the classics, with roads diverged and caged birds singing, with Nevermore's last toll bells ringing, but I do like a poem that I can understand. One that fits in the palm of my hand and preferably on one page. I like a poem that'll age. one that can go the distance, one that stirs resistance, that testifies, opens eyes, gives witness. My favorite poems are bold. They can be told on stage with memorized lines and slight off rhymes. My favorite poems are butterflies and the bright lights of the city. Not just because they mesmerize or because they're so pretty, but they're just so damn metaphorical. I want a poem that can dance, that has a little jazz to it. Something you can feel in your core, craving more through it. I like poems that I can swallow, like a good stew, or sometimes like water. One that can cool me down or make me hotter. I like poems that'll end before I'm done with it. They keep the air thick, but you can still have fun with it. Yes, I'll admit, I like a lot of poems, but some of my favorites are the ones I wrote about you and the life we've built from fallen timber with whittled tools, how our roads merged, open cage doors with evermores and wedding bells ringing, because my favorite poems are the ones that we've whispered at the edge of the night, in the iambic lacing of your fingers with mine. It's the enjammed ways in which we stutter our days, making metered remarks with each room-crossed gaze. They're the stanzas we've walked and the spaces surrounding, and the similes we smiled that were wild and confounding. My favorite poems are how we keep on shining, the darker that it gets, or how time flutters by as we're flying through it. And it's not just because of the ways that you fit me, but because it's simple to do, because it's always so pretty. It's all just so damn metaphorical. It's a poem I can age with. It's jazz. It's memorized. It's classic. Yeah. I'm always selling. I got 2 books that I've written. One, I just finished the year mark of this book being out. It's called The World We Might Have Built, Poems for Ceasefire. I wrote it for the Israel-Gaza conflict, and 100% of all the proceeds of this, actually all the sales of this book, have gone directly to relief aid in Gaza. So far I've been able to raise over $3,500 for Gaza relief, so it's pretty awesome. So if you want to be part of it, you want to read it, it's all poems that I wrote about over a year and a half directly about the conflict. This is my first book also, And We Walk, Confessions of Faith, Hope, and Love. So $20, $10. I get nothing from this, so if you want to buy it, please do. That's the one I want to sell. I've been working on a 3rd book recently, and so it's a book on, I call it Peculiar Blessings. So things that just are, maybe don't seem so great, but here we are. So this is a poem that I've just put together this week. We'll see if it's any good or not. It's a poem called For Living in the Dumbest Timeline. I don't know if I believe in a multiverse, or if the world could have been any way other than this. I don't know if I believe that everything happens for a reason, or if there's a less idiotic version of this mess just beyond the cosmos. I'd like to imagine a variant where competence is rewarded with something other than more work. Or where women with opinions weren't put on trial because the other villagers thought surely they must be literal witches. I can conceive a world where dolphins aren't such assholes. The measles are still considered a less than ideal child's party favor. And people aren't lighting this all on fire just to see how hot it will burn.
Right.
Or if the energy it radiates will at least keep their phones charged. I don't really mean to complain, because there is something quite dreadfully humorous about existing in this plane together. on this screwball hurled by God through space, headed somewhere close to home. And there are still galaxies of unexplored peace, and just enough hope for me to build a rocket ship to somehow take me there. I believe it can still be nice here too, though. So I'd like to think that I'm more than the straight man in this existential comedy of errors, and that this life is more than a setup to a really bad punchline. I want to be a contractor, walking through a dilapidated building, mumbling, "There's good bones here. We could make something out of this." Thank you.
Love it, love it, love it, J.E. Myers. I'm gonna go online to Michael. Maybe? Michael? Hey, Michael! We can't hear you yet. You're on mute. There we go.
There you go. We can hear you now.
Maybe not. His little microphone is off.
Michael, can you hear us?
I can. We're in good shape now.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Okay, so this poem begins with a painting, a copy of a painting by John William Waterhouse. And that painting is called Echo and Narcissus. So the painting has the nymph Echo off to the side, staring at her beloved Narcissus. Her problem is that she's been cursed by the goddess Hera not to be able to speak, so she can't express her love for Narcissus. She can only repeat or echo the last words or syllables that she has heard. And Narcissus has his own curse. And in the painting, he's leaning over a rock. His head and hands are propped against a stone. He's looking down over a pool of water. And his curse was the first person that he sees, he will fall in love with. So he's looking at his own reflection that he's fallen in love with. So it's kind of these two people are doomed not to be able to fulfill their love. And also in the picture is a large tree right above the head of Narcissus. And that tree I illustrate in my poem as the world tree. And there's a meandering stream in the background that leads into and fills that pool. Okay, so this, I have one other thing to add before I read the poem, and that's that I have an epigraph. And that epigraph is a revelation from Nathaniel Hawthorne. And he wrote, "Echo is the voice of a reflection in a mirror." Okay, I call this poem Echo and Reflection. Something passing as time drifts along unhurried currents, leans over fluent glass, immerses in depths unfathomed, seed unplanted, tree not yet risen, from within reflected deep. Alchemical currents sweep through a synesthetic stream, stirred by fate in a mixing plot of deja vu and synchronicity, vivifying and vivified by the pool of always. Stars constellate worlds. Worlds reflect in the souls of fated twins, echo and reflection, emerging from silent stillness, divinely united, existentially sundered, linked in limitless loop. And we may have passed through here already, whether from foresight or in retrospect, I cannot tell, nor choose for now to say. Hearts beat, blood pulses, bodies breathe, souls synchronize, sinking into depths unknowing. Forms tremble in reflected light. The angel awaits within the mirror without corners. My sister once said if I closed my eyes, I could see God's house. Here it is, in stone, revealed in passage through bone. No one told me whether I should enter. Tell you what, I'll knock, you talk. Together, angel, we'll journey without feet and fly without wings into the house within. What if, after I wander in vision through purple heather and coral bell, you, angel, creep up behind me, now seated cross-legged in lotus meditation, and turn my head to where my heart feels is right, rooted in ground, reflected in water, spine drawing Earth's energy upward as the risen cross. Ash rises. The world tree's trunk supports my back and head, pressed together in unspoken exchange. My arms outstretched as the branch from which apple and I hang. Dare I reach to touch the fruit? Apple drops, its fall crackling through branches and leaves. Candle flickers, dove flutters, stunned mid-flight against the wall within. Am I awake, asleep, or in the house between? A silver-bristled dandelion drifts downward, stirred gently by breeze. I trace trees' roots downward through living labyrinth, twisting to the deepest place where sacred fire magnifies the candle's faint glow above. A pot simmers on the edge of fire in sight. I savor the stirred broth, its flavor earthy with wild morels. A presence appears within, across, beyond the flame. Through flame scry, the angel reflects my lotus pose, levitating just above the underground. Her countenance streams silver tendrils of light, transmuting, exalting the drifting dandelion. Vision lifts. Angel rises, radiating light from crown and eyes. Follow me. Setting aside familiar things, I behind her follow. At the mouth of Oracle's cave, she rolls away the ceiling stone and descends into the dark. Hidden hand plucks the lyre of memory, its note echoing through stone. In memory, my brother John and I pass through the department store's outermost door. John calls out, "Odi, odi, o." Echo answers. In the cavern's echo, I hear his voice again, "Odi, odi, o," resounding through hushed halls of hallowed hollow stone. The roots of Odi, odi, o twist through a labyrinth of lost language, a dream I cannot quite recall, a quasi-Latin call, lengthen the dies day to tomorrow's threshold. This childhood echo reminds me to dream awake in the light, not only asleep in the cave. Dreams pose as symbols, but through dreamers' eyes, life seems the symbol, becomes the mask it wears. Buried deep within stone, within body and in life, lie signs of the end, a door flung open, not wide enough for me to pass in full physical form. Yet hands and feet, heart and head plod along beneath invisible stars. There's a tiny temple in my brain where none goes out when dove flies in, where horns when blared, the wall falls tumbling down. Dove descends through Waterhouse's painting and Hawthorne's revelation, unveiling directly in me. Echo becomes sight, leaps to light. Through water's glass, senses abandon all restraint, flowing into the eyes of Narcissus, encountering the mouth of Echo's voice. A tree, a drain, a sea, a brain. A mirror reflects the same. And then I end with another image, a photo of a monkey looking into a mirror.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you. One more time for Michael. Joshua.
Josh Brown.
There was a Joshua on there. Was there another Joshua? No? Was that you? Yeah.
It won't work. Okay, that's all right. Sometimes I perform this with a spooky background, but it's not necessary. Totally good to go. Blank.
Just leave the mic on there. And
Yeah?
stay behind it, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, we can hear real good with it. And
Okay.
it also helps for people online. Yeah.
For sure. Happy to. All right, I'm Josh Brown. I'm from South Bend, Indiana. So it's so cool to see this. I've lived here for so long. I had no idea this was here. This is my first time. So
Yeah.
really cool. This is great. So I am now separated from my once wife, and during the separation, there was this period where we both lived together. And I was in one bedroom and she was in the other. Throughout this whole process, nothing was more important than friends. All my friends came together and supported me, and in one of these conversations, I was talking to my friend Danny, explaining everything that I just explained to you guys, and she said, so it's like there's a ghost living in your house. And I'm like, I never thought about it like that. And she goes, I'm gonna write a poem about that. And the first thing I said was, you write poetry? But then the second thing I said after I thought about it was, I'm gonna write a poem about that.
Yeah.
So this is The Ghost by Josh Brown. There, the unseen ghost, only heard and felt. I am aware in feign oblivion, sieving thought and feeling failingly, like sands of time that so effortlessly endure, trickling through the ages unfettered, unencumbered, remembered. I persist, and so do the sands. And so together, we're not alone. Cold comfort from the ghost who roams in my mind and in my home. Ignorance begets bliss, but both elude me, for I am bound. The ghost is there, and I am aware. And I'm aware, and so I am bound between remembrance and a prayer for better days. I am bound and bedeviled by my sanity, so deeply intact and stable. He and I endure the showering sands of time as they trickle. We are fettered and encumbered, but impervious to scythe and sickle. I persist, and so does my sanity, so together we're not alone. Cold comfort from the ghost who roams in my mind and in my home. Loneliness flickers rhythmically, and I indulgently believe myself the drummer in control. I seek and avoid and seek it, like a twisted variant of a children's game we played. There are how many memories of blighted days. My dichotomies of life, to be accompanied or alone, they are both hexed. The solace of solitude, the respite of a lover, they are changed. The ghost, weightless and immaterial, with unknown force affects my rhythm, as though I were still of her ethereal realm, unreturned and vulnerable. I skip and stall and rewind and repeat, but I never cease nor cede to her influence, for returned no longer I am, no longer of her realm, but of my own. I am corporeal and intact, mighty and erect. I persist, and so does my rhythm, so together we're not alone. Cold comfort from the ghost who roams in my mind and in my home. Now as I drum, time has come to face the music. I am corporeal and aware and master of my mind. I endeavor to think and feel in sync with the ever-changing sands of time. I am encumbered and unfettered, and despite all, I must remember. It is this bliss that is exactly why I am rendered vulnerable. It is I who thrives through the sands of time as they rush or trickle. I who beats my drum in the face of scythe and sickle. I who persists through thought and feeling on a prayer for better days. Oblivion can wait. I have time in my bones. Cold comfort from the ghost who roams in my mind and in my home. Thank you.
All right, Josh. I got a question though. So you say your friend asked you about a ghost.
She said, yeah, so you're in one room, she's in the other, you never ever see each other, and she's like, it's like a ghost.
Oh, it's like a ghost. I thought, okay. I was like, is there a ghost? They're trying to say the ghost was a part of the separation, or yeah. Ah, okay.
In my mind and in my home.
Yeah, that was intense. One more time for Josh, please. All right, so for the first time, I get to hear the mastermind behind J.E. Mize, which is his wife, Katie Mize. So please, her first time on the mic here. Yeah, it's that pillow talk to make you do it.
Making me nervous, Pam.
We're all good here.
I really enjoy following on social media a beach in Chicago, Montrose Beach. They take care of these endangered beach shore birds called the piping plovers. It's so fun. Anyway, it's called Deer Pippin.
Dear Pippin?
Deer Pippin.
Okay.
That's the little guy's name.
Okay.
Little shorebird. Dear Pippin, when you left last fall, we thought you wouldn't make it. Garbage hanging from your tiny foot. The journey is too long for such a tether. You returned home with an amputation, and we were just relieved to see you again. I wonder what happened to you. I'll never be able to ask. How could I? Maybe you knew exactly what you were doing. Chose this big public city beach, your poster plastered on the paper, daily picture in social media. Since they will stare anyway, whisper anywhere, comment anyway, stage yourself front and center, so they'll stumble upon more than your deficits. Everyone already knows who you are, so make it famous, you Paralympian champion. And then this is If the Body Keeps the Score, the baseball version. If the body keeps the score, I struck out before the first pitch. Why bother warming up with the team when I should focus on warming up the bench? It's hard as balls and cold as nails. I'll take the seat by the outlet. Place a heating pad on the shiny metal. Convince myself that this small comfort will carry me through. Plug in the kettle until it whistles the game to begin. Charge my phone to photograph the most valuable moments of the game I no longer play. Even with all my gear taking up the entire dugout, the coach forgot I was there. until one day they needed a scorekeeper. And since I know the game inside and out, I tracked their shallow victories and recorded their mundane losses, remarked on the privilege of shallow victories and mundane losses for those who forgot how much they loved the game until the season ended.
Thank you, Katie. That was awesome. How'd it feel? You made it. You did it. Yeah. Oh my God. Wayne. And if you didn't know who Wayne is, he got a sticker on himself to let you know that Wayne. Me and Wayne were at our church picnic, and we had to have our little name tag. I took mine off, but I had two on. He has one on, and he shall remain Wayne. Godwin, right here.
Remain Wayne.
Remain Wayne.
Good evening. My name is Wayne. On May 2nd, I wrote a poem. And it was my complaint about the cold weather we had back then. 21 days later, I wrote another poem. And I think it makes reference to the cold weather. And tonight I'm going to stack them on top of each other and combine them into one poem. Section 1, My Complaint. March is the ugliest month, as sun and soot transform December's gentle white into wet and hostile slush that conspires to impede our every movement. Later, after April's nudge into deception, we complain how May gives the great disappointment. We thought spring was with us. But this morning, we find hoarfrost on the grass outside. Part 2, Our Hope. In this season of spring's new life, seeds, spores, and sapling sprigs spread hope of resurrection. But has anyone ever told you how the spread of hope began? Hope was ready to burst into and transform our everyday world. But stupid shame tried to prevent the birth. Having failed to abort the birth of beauty and life, stupid shame now carries the last dying sliver of hope to the dismal, empty attic where things are left to die. During a dark night of agony, dying hope had breathed in whatever air she could find, and she had survived. Later, unexpected beams of dawn's early light began to penetrate the small, imperfect openings beneath the east wall gable. Dying hope now had both air and light, and a single task: to survive with gratitude. Daily, patient survival kept her attached to him who 2,000 years ago knew resurrection in instant and immediate. Her resurrection arrives each day with patient gratitude.
Thank you, Wayne. Wayne is very special. He used to bring people to Poetry Den, and now we have wonderful individuals that will bring him here. So I appreciate you being here. Much love. Jasmine, right? Did I say that right?
Yes.
This is her first time. Y'all give it up for her.
So, hi adults. I did want to say, Josh Brown, he needed to be an actor. He needed to be in theater or something.
Yeah.
I don't know where he went, but yeah. So, so my first poem is called Sasrikal, which basically in Punjabi means hello, but it's also translated into God is truth. So this poem is about God. There is no place I'd rather be than with you. No gender nor color, just you. Your wisdom, your warmth, everything you do is for others. How selfless can you be? Your pureness is intoxicating. No wonder they worship you. My hands open, body vulnerable upon you. Oh Lord, only you can touch my heart. And then only I will be blessed. This next one is called Opal. You find your way, I found mine. Don't waste your time, so don't waste mine. The sun sets, the water flows, but yet you're here, and you still glow. The sparkle in the light you have found. Lost it? Okay. Let go. Be the one you want. Be the one I am. You don't know who you are or what you want, and that's what I despise about you. No wonder how much I care. I'll let you go, I promise. Just promise me that you will not play a game with me anymore. You make me want to cry, yet nothing comes out. Everything I feel for you is in my mind, so stop playing mind games with me, or I'll let go. But once I do, I'm never coming back, and I may vanish completely, but you may not give a care about me. Huh, that's funny, I see. Let go. And this last one means a lot to me. What I wish. I wonder sometimes what life would be like without you. I feel as if I'm starting to get a preview of it. I knew taking a step back wasn't going to be easy, but now it just feels like you're letting go, and it makes me wonder if I must do the same. I wonder what I've done was wrong, but I remember that I'm done doing that, changing myself for others, telling them everything is going to be okay when sometimes it's not. I stopped doing this a long time ago, and I'm not planning to bring it back and resurface it. What I will say is that just know that I care, and I miss you, and I will always be here to talk, but I am not your solution.
Adults, did you hear that? Thank you for being willing to share with us. I love that. We have learned something from our youth, right? Yes. Wait, Nikki, because I didn't. Nikki, come on. Nikki?
I need to sit. Is that all right? Can I?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You want this?
That won't work. I've got some limitations.
Okay.
Actual chair.
Anywhere behind here, you're good.
Yeah, you don't have to do the mic. It'll work. I mean, you got it.
Yeah, I got a big mouth, so.
Okay.
That's okay. Well, hello. Hello. My name is Nikki, but my pen name in poetry is Black Butterfly. I'm from Elkhart. So those of you on Instagram can find me at Follow the Black Butterfly. I have 2 poems tonight, and I'll get out of the way. But I write about life. I write about love, people, men, women, erotica, kink. So you might find some of everything on my Instagram page. And music is a huge part of me. You know, they say the body is 70% water. I'm 70% music. So okay. This first poem is called The Photograph. So there was a movie with Issa Rae and Lakeith Stansfield. Hopefully you all saw that movie, The Photograph. So that's where this stems from. He looks at me like when Michael first saw May. The sound of the finger flicks across the bass cello, deep and rich. His eyes and voice, hello, he says. Feeling time stop with each interaction. Minds intertwining, coming up with clever ways to say, hey, I was just thinking about you. Hearing the depth of breath, watching the tide of his chest come in and out to go up and down. Do I take his breath away? Is that why he looks at me how Michael did when he first saw May? He reaches for my hand, gentle yet strong, taking the lead, and I follow willingly, giving in to thoughts and ideas, movements of physicality and spirit, 2 of the same kind. Souls meeting again and again and again, new and fresh, exploratory notions of things risky. He looks at me like when Michael first saw May. Embracing me wholly, squeezing me into safety, holding me like his arms were mine, hearing a melody, that thick bass again, staccato but loud and resonating, twirling me around as if I was a dandelion, watching the little pieces float away, making a wish on each kiss. Me floating on a high, he laughs at my simple joy. Simplicity provides a fine line between elegance and plainness. I am simple. Without complexity in attitude or elaborate in demeanor, my simplicity is profound and elegant. I bring him ease, I bring him softness, I bring him fluidity, I bring him space. Maybe this is why he looks at me like when Michael first saw May. Okay, this last poem is called A Wrong and a Right Way. So if you know Keith Sweat, he got a song called The Wrong Way. So that's where this came from. The song says there's a right and a wrong way to love somebody. And I never carried that lightly. My love, it was a fragile thing like butterfly wings, delicate like glass, clutching it so tight in my hand, protecting it fiercely, holding it close. Questioning every outstretched hand that wanted me to share it with a smile, which gave me pause. But you were patient with my caution, gentle with my guard. You made safety sound and seem like a promise. And for the first time in a long time, I believed it. So I let you in. It was slow, careful, but I opened my hand, gave it to you, piece by hesitant piece, until you had it all in the right ways. You did not just earn my trust, I grew it for you specifically, tended to it like an organic garden and allowed it to bloom. At first, I wasn't sure if I deserved it, and then the break that allowed my courage. I did not come into this world safe. Life sanded me down early, taught me to flinch at kindness, to brace for the moment when warmth turns to cold. So when I let you close, it was not effortless. It was work. It was fear. It was every trembling piece of me believing that this time would be right. This time would be different, that I wasn't walking into another burn. You did not just ease past my guard. You navigated it like a master in a maze. And I watched me lower it piece by piece. You watched how hard it was for me, how foreign it felt. And instead of holding the pieces with care in its simplicity and beauty, you decided it was something you could pocket and pull out at your whim or drop to the floor without consequence and step over and come back to pick up when it suited your needs. When I finally figured it out, it cracked through my chest like a fault line giving way after years of pressure. And what hurt the most isn't the betrayal, not the lies you told or tried to cover. It's the indifference that I know will come. The way you will walk away like the carnage wasn't your fault. Like you hadn't been warned about its simplicity and beauty. How fragile my heart was, how rare, how hard earned. I think about how you walked around inside my guard, like you owned the place, like it was your birthright. To be trusted by someone who barely trusts the mirror. You took advantage of the bravest thing I did, trusting you. Now I will pick through the pieces, cut fingers, sore hands, bruised soul, trying to figure out what shards are mine and which ones were yours that I will have to try and rebuild. But now the shape will be different, sharper, stronger, less willing to bend, and you will live untouched by the weight of it, while I carry the memory of the moment I finally opened up. And you didn't bother to handle with care. You turned it into the thing I'll never do again the same way. The wrong way. And that is on you. Because trust, once shattered, always remembers the hand that let it fall to its break in the wrong way.
Y'all know that song? I know a little girl named Nikki, I guess you could say.
That's one of my favorites. Best to ever do it.
One more time for Nikki, please. It's Reed, you still here? Yeah, come on, Reed. Y'all show some love for him.
Hey, everybody. So this is new for me. I do a lot of collage-based art stuff that's very art forward, and then I kind of write about it. It's usually stuff about the earth or society. I brought two of my zines. I make little pamphlets and stuff. Little shameless self-promotion if you want more of my stuff. Come to the Lane Lab on June 13th. There'll be a zine fest and I'll be tabling.
All right.
My pen name or moniker is $1 Million Ideas given away for free, so don't expect any charge. The first one I'm going to read is called Mountain Culture. Let's see if you can get what I'm talking about. It says, a lot of people are saying, you can tell what a civilization values by the monuments left behind. And what does our civilization value? Is it wealth? Is it fame? Is it power? No. The answer? Giant piles of garbage. Whoever comes next, human or otherwise, will view these monuments as valuable yet hazardous resources and pity us for destroying ourselves, only for the sake of a growing pile. That's my next one's called Forward Thinking. It has a little earth with an arrow going through it. The tech billionaires keep saying, AI is here to take all of our jobs. Never has a civilization been so advanced. Rejoice! The stock market reached record highs today. Never has a civilization been more prosperous. Don't your ears grow weary of hearing of all this progress? Perhaps this progress was never meant for us. And at what cost? Their prayer is not whispered, it is exalted to the heavens. May this planet serve as a burnt offering to the blind gods of progress. May we move forward and forget the past. For convenience sake, may we reap and not sow. May we extract all we can and leave a husk behind. Ours is an inevitable gilded age in the stars. Rebuke this player, because it will be the death of all things. Don't believe their shiny, seductive lies. There are no quick, last-minute solutions, no escape pods. The earth is all we have. No other place will suit us better. Only with slow, steady steps can we attempt to save one another. There is no planet 2, not for them, not for me, and not for you. Thank you.
essence of time, did I miss anyone? Oh, how could I miss you, Joe? You might have came in later and I didn't get your name.
Sorry?
I said you might have came in later and I didn't have you down on my list, but come on up, Joe. Can I show some love?
We need time for the feature poem.
Of course you do. Why not?
I'll try to be quick. Be brief. I'm gonna read the last thing, or one of the last things I wrote. Actually, yeah, it is the last thing I wrote, which was a long time ago. I've been experiencing writer's block, so this is like last year sometime. Here we go. It's untitled, which is so unlike me. Okay. I've seen Saint Nick. I know what he looks like. I've seen him in person. He's humongous. Not in the rotund way that you're thinking. I'm talking tall. He almost hit the ceiling of my trailer. He had to duck underneath the door frame with his gift in hand, a small box, unwrapped, only cardboard to conceal the present inside. He wasn't too careful about being unseen. He even gave me a small wave as he put the present underneath our plastic 4-foot tree. The thing that really bothered me about his, about him was his lack of eye contact. It seemed like he was embarrassed to be there. So why didn't he come in the quiet of the night with his 2007 minivan, air freshener hanging from the rearview mirror? He was dressed like he was going to rob us. That's the other thing. My Saint Nick did not dress in his velvety red and white. He had a black cap on, something like an eagle sewn in it. He wore a black hoodie and black baggy jeans. He blended in, except for the fact that it was day. The other weird part about Santa was his presence, not his gifts. He stayed around, gave my mom a weird smile, and almost invited us to open our presents, even though it was 2 days before Christmas. You could say Christmas Eve, if you wanted to. But I do know that St. Nick did give me something special that year. And it was the only thing that I got that year as well. So, there's that. Yeah. That's where I kind of improv the last part of it, but that's kind of where I wanted to go with it. And then I'm just going to read one more quick one. And then I'll get out of here. This one's called The Gate, also unfinished. And it does have a title, but it's not a very good one. The Gate. So the last thing I knew was I didn't think I was going to be a house owner. But now I'm $15,000 drained out of my bank account. I didn't have much other than that. We've been saving for months and years, my wife and I. I'm here staring at a house I have to pay a mortgage on. I don't even know the definition of that word. And I have so many projects I have to do to make this house livable. But like many others, I get fixated on one little thing that must get complete or it's going to drive me nuts. Is it necessary? No. Is it worth it? Not really. Will it remain in my mind day to day, hour to hour, until it's done? Absolutely. I must get this gate bigger. I have no idea how I'm going to do just that. I got dainty little hands. I barely know how to use a drill. My parents were artists. They encouraged me to learn how to sing, dance, act, not to measure, cut, and cut again. Not to mention, I don't even need this gate to be bigger, really. But it could be bigger because I need it to be bigger.
Right. One more time for Joe. Thank you. Totally get that. All right, y'all ready for your feature? I promise you're gonna be in for a really wonderful treat. I got a little taste of it when I came in. I said, ooh. I'm gonna shame you a little bit. Just, I wanted to say these beautiful things about Lisa, but Lisa didn't give me any beautiful extra things to say about her, other than I know that she's a beautiful person and that she feels great passion for her community, and she's very supportive in her community. She's very loyal to her friends, some of them that are here. She's encouraged her, that was her daughter that read to you adults. But yeah, I'm really honored that she's here, that she said yes. She can tell you a little bit more about herself and what she's doing. But yeah, if y'all just put your hands together, give a really warm welcome to Lisa.
So I'm going to be juggling between a laptop and some notebooks, but we're going to have fun. All right. So tonight, I want to take you on a ride. I have some longer pieces, I have some shorter ones, and then there's some interludes to just spice stuff up. And really, all that's required of us tonight is to just be present. So sit back, relax, and get comfortable. I'm so glad that you're here. My name is Lisa Danielle, and my first piece tonight is called Slide Interlude. Love is a legion, he called my 7 digits, right by just for a visit with flowers and some sweet kisses. Holding me tight, yeah, I know he really miss it. His mental parts revealing the way he really be feeling. Got a fella coming at me like he's into me. True story is I could never been an option, never been a plaything. And if you really wanted me, then why are you disengaging? Because time lost, we can never get back. And if you're focused on the path, then if you're not focused on the path, then guess what? You'll just fall into the gap. And yeah, you'll get back on your feet like you never even fell. But the real question I have to ask you is, are you living in heaven or are you living in hell? The world would take a beautiful woman and try to break her. Chase her only to take her and deface her, then misplace her into a category that she's not. Calling her slick because they're not supposed to be liberated or educated or dedicated to living a life that's not designed with a man in mind. Look at the times they're changing, and yet you still want to hate when you see a woman making moves and not staying in her so-called place. So what's allowed and what's not? Why do women have to be made to feel like pawns in the plot? It's not my lot, and it's not yours either. Let's reclaim our power and give power to the people. I'm only one person, and our stories are plenty. How many out there really feel me? Because we go through the bullshit every day, and I'm sure we have a lot to say. So let's use our voices and use our strength to stand up for the rights of all women. This one I wrote during the pandemic. I'm not even going to explain it. It's a mass check society, the looting of propriety, trying to hit the lottery while sacrificing eternity. It doesn't seem worth to me. I'd rather keep my dignity, achieve the possibilities over fear and negativity, a seer of light, remember me, because I'm going to shine bright. I dealt with my night, so I'm ready for day. Sun, fill me up with your radiant rays. Oh, shall I count the ways my feet have walked and walked away. Moving up and counting age is more to life than getting paid. Wealth of wisdom like a sage, like a boss already made. To live out loud, not from these cage. These bars of life can leave you staying. I don't think you understand that over yonder lies the break. Claim your place and set your pace. Marathon, not a race. Saving grace can save your face, but can't replace the lessons learned from raising stakes. But now let's skate, because it's not too late. Set the date, bait the cake, invite the friends and celebrate. It's your year to set it straight. Change your fate and make it great. To infinity, like figure 8, 8, 8. So don't hesitate or wait. Just drop it, clean your slate. Let it marinate, then chef it up and serve it hot. And watch the growth of that money pot. I did want to take a moment to talk about someone that I love dearly. Some of you may have known him, met him. Kay Woods passed away not too long ago, but I want to dedicate this next one to him because he allowed me to share this at his Yoga for Social Justice event. And that was held at the Rocky Button a few years back, but I left my daughter's graduation party to just go share it just because I loved him so much. I was just like, I'll be there for you. So this one's for Kay. I've done some foolish things. I'm not perfect, I'm a human being. I'm tested every day like you are, yet I still remain a queen. Because I know who I am and I know my worth. Why else would God place me on this earth? Because I am of him and he lives in me. See, he's closer than my family. So if you think you can separate me from him, then you must think again, my friend, because even if you'd killed me, I'd still be living on. The soul carries on long after we're gone, inspiration living within the heart that was given. So if you keep tripping and need a place to fall, just look inward, and on that, you can call. And when mistakes give you weight and you think you might break, remember where you come from and forgive yourself from sin, because in the end, it wasn't about you to begin.
Right.
So grief has been a topic that I've been really having to sit with for a while over the last couple of years, not just with my friend Kay, but with different family members. So this is a little heavier, but I think you'll enjoy it. Grief. Grief, you are heavy, taking on the embodiment of all the memories, but also the reminder of the end. You carry the weight of many emotions within one container. Your pendulum swings when triggered by a song or a smell or place. Your range is wide, just like the many stories you hold. Those books you store in the sacred places of your house is many. When we open those books, we remember this is your gift to humanity. You carry the memory of our collective pain and heartbreak, but you also help us remember what was. Thank you, grief, for teaching me how necessary you are. For the parts of me I need to remember, even when it's painful. Remembrance is how I'm able to honor all that was before me. Our becoming is transformed by you because you teach us the art of letting go, while still remembering and honoring and remembering the people, the parts, the places that brought us to where we are presently. Whether that present is favored or not, You don't come to us as a burden. You come to teach us about gravity of life. You ground us, you offer a space for remembrance, forgiveness, inward reflection, self-care, slowing down, speaking our truth, and letting go by honoring life itself in the many cycles and seasons that form it. Thank you, grief. Thank you. This next one is called, it's called The Shedding of a Snake. Oh man, okay. Stage 1, the blue phase. It's time to shed. Not because I want to, but because it's what I do naturally. I must not resist. If I don't shed, I'll become an enemy to myself. The old skin will restrict my flow and blind my eyes so I can't see. So I shed. During this process, my eyes become dull, my color fades, my belly looks raw and flush. My eyes turn cloudy, and I hide more often because I am fasting. The fluid between the old skin shedding and the new skin forming makes it hard for me to see. I treat this time sacred because it is. I become irritable because it's not comfortable, but it is necessary. In my solitude, I am protected as I sit in my becoming. Stage 2, the clear phase. I can see again. The cloudy film that kept me hidden disappears. My eyes are clear, my color returns, all seems renewed, but I am not complete yet. Because my new skin has formed and my eyes return to sight, I still must perform my final phase, the release of my old skin. This phase can be deceptive because on the outside, I would appear to be normal. But I'm reminded, do not rush this phase, says my heart. You are now ready to enter stage 3. Stage 3, the shedding. Now it is time. I rub my head and nose against rocks and branches and loosen the old skin. My skin peels back and off it comes from the inside out like a sock. I rock and sway and the old skin is pulled back from my head, down my body and back onto the earth. I come back to me brighter, healthier, whole. I don't look back on my old skin in longing. I look back in gratitude. That skin kept me then. This skin will keep me now. And I am one in alignment with the natural order. I am the snake. In my shedding process, I come to teach growth, renewal, transformation, and trusting the process. Interlude number 2. Empty space, endless possibilities, lost your place, missed that opportunity. What you thought you had immunity, you owe one now to the whole community. Get back up, show them papers, here now, baby, gonna do your thing. Turn up loud, hit them with the funky beat, pull up spot, step out like a super freak. I'm gonna let it just fall. Okay. The next one is called concentric circles. Concentric circles cycling inward and outward so far the eye cannot see, sharing the same center that grow bigger as it expands outward into the vastness of the unknown. Held together by a point, a drop in an everlasting sea of rippling energy vibrating into everything and nothing all at once. I now stand at that point, that center, that dot on the page. I feel the balance from the orbit that forms around me. Though it be just a drop, its power creates the center of the infinite circle that are the effect of its cause. Like a heart to a body and a breath to a life, I stand at the center of my existence and create concentric circles all around me. I think I got another interlude. All right. This one you can kind of clap if you want to. Hold on. Let me put this down. Okay. Got my heart racing like 1,000 deer when a forest gun's going off. You shot me. Cupid's arrow must have got me. Butterflies flying up in light speed like a firework. No more like lightning. Let's hold time in our hand as we romance in a slow dance. Love, fill the air so I can breathe. Awesome. Thank you. This one's called City Vibes. Wet streets shine and gleam with possibility and wonder after the rain. Bright-mannered lights paint eye-candy thrill on blocks of buildings. Reflecting colors move and bounce as cars swish past and buzzing sounds of excitement stir. Layers, textures, measures, sensory delights of culture and people all make you feel at home. Internal ignitions of ambitious curiosity pulse through my vein, ready to explore the adventures that await around every corner of this concrete jungle. I am alive. Cautious of the alluring illusion, I suspend disbelief and hold on to the present in its magic. Nowhere else I want to be or feel or know. Only owning what moments are afforded to me, I look out onto the cityscape and dream anything is possible. This is another short one and fun one. We are electric, spark, spark, spark. Signal sent with speed and light, we are bright. Shine, 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 so all could see the endless possibilities. We are infinite. Be still and breathe in and out. Dance, shout, sit, stand, move, bro. No, you are, I am love. All right, I got one more and then we got a special little treat for you. All right? Love. Love sustains, it endures. Love rises even at our lowest. Love heals, eternal and everlasting. Love, it's in you. Can you feel it? Love expands, overflowing without end. Love inspires, illuminating and limitless. Love grows, adds, multiplies, enhances, never expires, always available and costs nothing. Love, 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 and love some more. So I'm going to invite my friend Michael to the stage. I'm going to actually get some water real quick because I'm a little parched. And he's going to get set up, and then we're going to share with you, okay?
All right.
My daughter said I did good, so that.
While she's doing that, just to let you guys know, there is we have a conference coming up this week, and it's around arts and healing. And on Friday morning, for those of you if you're available, There's a lady called Laylee Long Soldier who will be present with us. It's on the University of Notre Dame. I think it's in McKenna Hall. But I should know the time of this. When she's done, I'll let you know. But yeah, I mean, she's an acclaimed poet. She'll be with us. It's free to the public. So.
No. All right, so by no, oops, I know I gotta, that's good, okay. By no means do I consider myself a singer, but I love to just play with my voice and make sounds and lyrics, and something here is gonna happen. And this is the first time I'm doing this, so I'm a little nervous. But we're here and we practiced a little bit earlier today, and I think it sounds pretty good. So we're gonna go for it. The world didn't move so fast today. Is anyone present? How can we learn to communicate when we're stressed and anxious? It's time we found a new way to move through life. Because the old ways they won't do. Because you're new. And it's okay to unlearn some things. It's part of the journey. It's okay to not know the answers. We're just all trying to find our own way. No one gave us a playbook. We've learned a lot of things just growing up, baby, yeah. It's time we found a new way to move through life. Because the old ways they won't do. Because you're new. Our focus jumps from here to there. Our boundaries decay. Appears we've crossed the line. Yeah. And it's okay, to sit back and do nothing. Give yourself a break. Why are you rushing? Who said this thing is a race? It's not, so believe me. You set your own pace. This is the time. This is the place. This is the space. Give yourself all the grace. It's okay. It's okay. Hey, it's okay. It's okay. Take a quick moment to just thank Pam for inviting me to the Poetry Jam. Thank all of you, hey, it's okay. So invite your friends, come back to the next one, and have a safe night tonight. Thank you for being here.
Can I say one thing? Anybody got some summer jobs for 14-year-olds?
Okay, that's fine.
Give it up for Michael. Give it up for Lisa. I walked in on the rehearsal and I said, hey, ooh. I thought something else was going on in here. I didn't know this was going to be a part of the Poetry Jam. So we really, that was a great treat. Thank you so much. Thank you both. Keep working on that, y'all. Y'all got something. Yeah, keep working on that. Thank you for all of you that was on the open mic. Those of you that wanted to be and I didn't get you up here. Next time, you know me, we ain't trying to dish you like that. Those of you that joined us online, thank you. Come back next month. We're celebrating 14 years. Per usual, we have a couple books. If you weren't able to get a Poetry Jam book and want to get one, there's some Cash App things out there. You can feel free if you want one and can't afford one, let me know, we'll get you a book. But yeah, thank you for being here. See you next month. Tell your friends, come through. Yeah.